And a winter weather advisory goes into effect tonight. Precipitation would be light, but I'll show you where it could be and how much.
Also coming up, 2 people dead in Durham. The WRAL breaking news tracker at the scene of a suspected murder-suicide. The information we're trying to gather about the 2 victims involved. Also, Raleigh road conditions. Progress being made on local roads after back-to-back weekend winter storms. We'll tell you what to look for as the snow and ice melt away. WRAL News at 8 on Fox 50 starts in less than 30 seconds.
At Leith Honda in Raleigh and Auto Park Honda in Cary, we make your buying process easy. And with every new car purchase, you'll enjoy complimentary oil changes and exceptional service. It's no wonder we've earned so many 5-star reviews. You'll also get peace of mind pricing with every used vehicle, and if it's not the perfect fit, no problem. Bring it back within 3 days for an easy exchange. Visit our showroom at Auto Park Honda in Cary or Leith Honda in Raleigh. It's easier here.
Live from WRAL News headquarters in Raleigh, your #1 source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
It is another busy day here on WRAL News and Fox 50. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Laura Levine.
And I'm Ken Smith. Of course, we're bracing for some more wintry precipitation, but this one not as potent.
Right.
That's the good news. Let's get over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking it all for us.
Starting off with some rain this morning. That rain will continue on and off all the way through the evening commute. Likely it will spread a little bit farther to the north as we get closer to that evening commute. And then we're going to see some cold air that tries to catch up with it. A little light rain between Lewisburg and Rocky Mount right now, some of that over into Edgecombe County as well. But everything that we're seeing out there right now is fairly patchy. We'll roll through time here on Futurecast, and you can see right around lunchtime or just before, most of that rain is well to the south. Then it begins to lift a little bit farther to the north. About that time, we start to see cold air rushing in, and it may change some of that precipitation over. Now, this is never a really heavy snowmaking type pattern for us, but we could have some very light snowfall that maybe accumulates half an inch to an inch in our northern counties, and then a wintry mix elsewhere. You can see the pink shaded areas all the way down to the south, but notice it's very, very light at that point. So a light glaze in the south, a little wintry mix from the triangle area northward with less than an inch of accumulation. Now, temperatures will drop into the upper 20s for tomorrow morning, so I would definitely watch out for slick bridges. Other than that, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. This is a live look at Lewisburg this morning. Our temperatures remained above freezing last night, so not a lot of trouble on the roads this morning, thankfully, but it does stay chilly today. We'll see a high of 42, and then temperatures will fall into the 30s pretty quickly this evening. Ken?
Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We've got a couple of trouble spots I want to bring your attention to. First, to the east of Raleigh, we're seeing a 2-minute delay on I-87 near the Smithfield Road exit. But once you get past the Smithfield Road exit, it's clear sailing all the way to the Beltline. As we widen out the view to other areas, boy, a real trouble spot for those folks in Apex or All Points South heading north on US 1. We're seeing a major delay around Highway 55 or Williams Road. You're looking at a 17-minute delay. So maybe I would take State Road 540, maybe Highway 55 over to 64 as an alternate route to avoid US 1 right now. You're looking at a 7-minute delay if you're coming in from Wake Forest on US 1 South, Capitol Boulevard, if you will. Just a 1-minute delay if you're coming in from Gardner, Johnston County on I-40. Now, over in Durham, we're seeing some real jam sessions on I-885. You're looking at an 8-minute delay heading into Durham and a 6-minute delay if you're using I-885 to get to I-40 this morning. So all those factor in as you're getting ready to head out this morning. If you're in a rush, 885 is part of your morning commute. You might want to take Highway 70 as an alternate route. As far as other routes heading into Durham, the main trouble spot is Highway 98. You folks in Wake Forest, you're looking at an 8-minute delay coming into Durham. But I'm going to keep you updated here in the WRAL Traffic Center. But if you're heading into the car, tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
And we're staying on top of breaking news right now in Durham, where Durham police are at the scene of a suspected murder-suicide, that is. This happened at an apartment complex near Irwin Road. That's where we find Ali Cadlabar in the WRAL breaking news tracker. And Ali, investigators have been at the scene for more than 9 hours.
A very lengthy investigation process, Laura, and this morning we spoke with a person who stays at this apartment complex. He says he knows the man who died, and he says that the man and woman who died were in a relationship and their kids were in the apartment when the shooting happened. Now, we're working to confirm this. We've seen police investigate this apartment unit where you can see police tape is wrapped around the unit here. Now, take a look at this video from the WRAL breaking news tracker. We saw investigators taking photos of what looked like a bullet hole in the window. We also saw them gathering evidence upstairs. Durham police say a shooting was reported at this apartment off Crest Street around 10 last night. Officers found a man and woman shot, and they were pronounced dead at the scene. Police say right now it appears to be a murder-suicide. And we're working to find out what led up to this shooting. We have reached out to Durham police for an update. Of course, when we get that, we're going to let you know. Reporting live in Durham, Allie Cathabar, WRAL News.
Well, after days of icy conditions on roads, we're seeing a vast improvement because the sun came out the last couple of days, leading to a lot of melting. Let's get to WRAL's Kelsey Coffey and the WRAL Storm Tracker this morning. You're near the Village District. What are you seeing right now?
Hey, Ken, we've seen some major improvements as far as road conditions are concerned. We'll go ahead and give you a live look now at roadways where you can see here near the Village District. We'll also give you a look at some video here that should be a familiar sight to a lot of folks across our viewing area for the past 2 weeks, those sidewalks being an icy mess. The city of Raleigh's transportation director says sidewalks are lower on their priority list. A spokesperson for the city says their top priorities are roadways and high traffic areas. So we spoke with people who live in downtown Raleigh about how they're navigating icy sidewalks.
And quite honestly, I had to walk and run in the middle of the road, which isn't great.
Yeah, not great at all. So be careful out there. You definitely don't want to resort to that kind of dangerous activity. But we'll give you another live look here. Looks like we're coming up on Oberlin Road here in the Storm Tracker. So we'll give you another update in the next 30 minutes. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh. Well, Wake schools and the others in yellow on a map that we've been showing you all morning now are on a 2-hour delay this morning. Schools that you see in red are closed, and that includes Orange, Edgecombe, and Wayne counties. The counties in green will have remote learning. Durham and Harnett County schools are back open today on regular schedules. A full list of closings and delays can be found on WRAL.com. Water is slowly being restored to Nashville, North Carolina, after leaders there needed to shut down the water supply. The town says full pressure should be back this morning. A boil water advisory is in effect until further notice. This all stems from 5 major water main breaks in Rocky Mount. After recent winter weather, local neighborhoods are having trouble with water. Raleigh Water says extremely cold water running through the pipes can lead to breaks.
Kind of like a coffee pot that's very hot and you put cold water in it, it cracks. Same sort of theory there. So we think that's part of it.
In Johnston County, water capacity had to be reduced this week, and that led to a shortage. Hundreds of people in Halifax County had to go without water because of a leak as well. So now is the time to download the free WRAL weather app. You can keep up to date on the latest forecasts and conditions. Turn on notifications and alerts to know winter weather and how winter weather will affect your neighborhood.
Well, testimony resumes today in the sentencing hearing of Austin Thompson. He's the young man who shot and killed 5 people in Raleigh's Headingham neighborhood back in 2022. Today, a Raleigh police detective will wrap up part of his testimony. Yesterday, we heard from family members of the victims, including Jasmine Torres. Her husband, Raleigh police officer Gabe Torres, was killed in that shooting.
My husband changed forever. And my daughter didn't deserve any of it. My husband didn't deserve any of it. And I know I didn't deserve any of it.
The state is expected to present its case for the next 3 days. The judge will decide how long Thompson spends in prison. A live stream of today's testimony will be available on WRAL.com and WRAL's YouTube channel. Now, we have extensive coverage of this case on our YouTube page as well. That includes the biggest moment from Tuesday's testimony and analysis from our team of reporters.
Police in Nashville, North Carolina are looking for the suspect in a high-speed chase. This is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker last night on Highway 64. Police say that they were conducting a traffic stop when the suspect took a while to pull over. The person eventually took off again, reaching speeds up to 130 miles per hour. Investigators say the suspect lost control near Old Carriage Road and ran off. It's unclear why police were conducting a traffic stop.
New this morning, we are trying to learn more about a shooting in Orange County. The sheriff's office was called to Car Store Road last night, and that's where they found a man who was shot. He was taken to the hospital. Right now, we're trying to get an update on his condition. At last check, no word on any arrests made, but we're looking into that right now.
New developments in the disappearance of Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie's mother. Authorities in Arizona are investigating possible ransom notes connected to Nancy Guthrie. The Pima County Sheriff's Department says it is aware of the ransom note reports and that it is taking all leads seriously. Officials also say detectives are coordinating with the FBI in this investigation. Nancy Guthrie was last seen Saturday night at her home in Tucson and was reported missing the next day. Police are asking for help locating her and that she is without medication that she desperately needs to live. Top now, 8:10. Winter weather recovery. People all across North Carolina are still dealing with dangerous conditions after last weekend's snowstorm. A look at the progress being made.
And internet restrictions, how a new filter at Wake County schools will help monitor student activities online. Elizabeth?
And winter weather impact for us tonight. It'll be limited to minor. We may have some slick conditions, especially on bridges. We'll talk about who will see what coming up. .13. We're starting off with some light patchy showers from the Triangle area eastward and southward. As we get through the day, we'll start to see more of this lifting northward, but it may be closer to the evening before we really see that chance increasing. 5 o'clock, it's 70% and about 80% as we get to 7 and 8 o'clock. Our northern counties, including parts of the Triangle, will start to see some colder air catching up with this, and we'll begin to see more of a wintry mix as we get into the evening. Coming up, we'll take a look at the map and talk about exactly what you may see where you are. Planning your day today, we did not drop below freezing, so temperatures are in the upper 30s and will climb into the low 40s. It will stay gray for today, and we'll have some on and off showers. And again, we're going to talk more about our impacts for tonight coming up. In just a few minutes, Chris Michaels talks about the fact that parts of North Carolina has seen more snow than the Rockies, and he'll tell us why, Ken.
Well, that's incredible. So, listen, I want to stay on top of this situation coming in out of Apex. You're looking at a 17-minute delay. As we looked at the map, we're seeing a major slowdown around Highway 55 Williams Road, if you will. So I would recommend maybe taking 540 over to 64 and then getting back onto US 1 to avoid that section of US 1 coming in on the northbound lanes. But other than that, all the other major routes, sort of a 6-minute delay if you're coming in from Wake Forest and Capitol Boulevard in terms of your morning commute. If you're heading into Cartoonist and on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
17-minute delay. Hope there's some improvement there, Ken. Taking a look here at the WRAL Life Center, we did not forget about the Walk for Peace Buddhist monks right now. They are in Virginia. Specifically, they are leaving from Ashland, Virginia on day 102 of their journey to Washington, D.C. As you know, they stopped here in our area, including Raleigh. We were covering that as well. And we are going to continue to follow their journey as they approach D.C. You'll see a bunch of people kind of gathering around all these folks that are here that are a part of that walk. And as they continue to head to D.C., we'll get you an update along the way.
Well, new this morning, North Carolina high school students earned another record number of career and technical credentials. That new information is set to be presented to the State Board of Education today. Students earned 383,000 credentials last year. That's about 25,000 more than the year before. WRAL Education insider Emily Walkenhaw says North Carolina lawmakers, companies, and education leaders have been making a big push on this.
There's just this really big emphasis throughout the community on getting students more exposure to career and college courses, career training while they're still in high school.
For more on the work the state is doing, visit the education section of our website, WRAL.com.
And Wake County schools are getting a new filter to oversee students' web activity. The school board has approved a more than $300,000 contract to use a Lightspeed internet content filter. Students, staff, and families have told the district that the current filter inconsistently blocks websites and that students are distracted by YouTube. The district officials say the new tool is more consistent and will block recommended videos on YouTube.
The State Board of Elections asking voters to update their information. The board is sending out more than 241,000 letters about this across North Carolina. The board says the recipients provided identification numbers that do not match government records when they registered. This effort does not affect voter registration status, though. You'll still be able to vote if you are registered, even if your information is not updated. The letters are on the efforts by the Board of Elections to maintain accurate and current voter rolls.
People across North Carolina are still trying to dig out of the snow from over the weekend, including in western North Carolina. In Madison County, many of the secondary roads are still covered in ice and snow.
I mean, the roads are treacherous right now. I mean, there's no two ways about it. They've had a hard time keeping up. I mean, that's a lot of snow.
On some of our secondary roads, you're going to see those stranded motorists, especially when you get up around 3,500 foot elevation.
So officials in Madison County say that they saw a spike in 911 calls for crashes. Those numbers have since returned to normal.
It was a race against time after the weekend snowstorm. The North Carolina Highway Patrol had to airlift crucial blood platelets to ECU Health in Pitt County. This is because the hospital faced a critical supply shortage. Snowy roads made ground travel impossible. The hospital was relying on supplies from the Blood Connection in Wake County. Staff there say troopers stepped in and made the life-saving flight in less than an hour.
The reality is that we think that everything just shuts down when this winter weather comes in, and there are patients that are in the hospital, trauma patients, cancer patients, surgery patients who still rely on this blood product, life-saving blood product.
The State Highway Patrol says patients were able to get the platelets without any delays.
Okay, so listen to this. Parts of North Carolina have seen more snow this winter than some popular cities in the Rockies. Meteorologist Chris Michaels here with us now to show us who and why this is happening. Chris?
Yeah, we were talking about it yesterday, that areas like New Bern saw nearly 1.5 feet of snow this past weekend. More than Spokane, Washington, more than Denver, Colorado has seen since December 1st. Salt Lake City's only seen 1/10 of an inch of snow, which is really bad for their water table. In fact, there's parts of the Florida Panhandle that have seen more snow than that this winter. So here's the snow map, and you can see that the snow in the Rockies, the Sierra Nevada, the Cascades, been very elevation dependent, but then our snow definitely sticks out. Reason for it is the overall weather pattern has featured high pressure in the west, low pressure in the east. And when you have high pressure, the air beneath it sinks, compresses, warms, and dries. When you have low pressure, it's the opposite. The air rises, expands, forms more clouds, and a better chance of precipitation. So that's a pattern we've been in for the past few weekends. It's a pattern we're in today, Elizabeth, but it starts to gradually break as we go beyond today.
Yes, finally, we look ahead into next week, and it looks like temperatures begin to warm up. Now, we could definitely use the rain, but it's going to be a chilly rain, and it's going to be fairly light. The better chance of any accumulating rain, in the rain gauges is likely to be in our southern counties. But a few isolated showers from Raleigh northward and westward, but the bulk of the rain, at least during the daylight hours today, is going to be in our southern counties. This low and associated cold front will swing through and help to bring a little more moisture in later this evening. But right behind the front comes another blast of colder air. And so the cold air will catch up to the precipitation and change it over to a wintry mix as we get into this evening. Now, this is never a good accumulating snow pattern for us. It just doesn't usually work that well, but we could still see some light accumulations. Here's 11 o'clock this morning, all the way out to 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and you're seeing some of that rain starting to lift northward. By 5 o'clock, we're beginning to see the cold air catching up with some of that. And from Raleigh northward, there could be a wintry mix, some snow, some sleet, some freezing rain. Once we get the precipitation, once you get the cold air to catch up with the precipitation down south, it's more likely to be a little light glaze of freezing rain. But again, none of it's going to be terribly heavy. The thing that I would be most concerned about tomorrow morning is our temperatures will drop into the upper 20s. So we could end up with some slick bridges, and that could be really anywhere. We have a 25 to 30% chance of an inch of snow for tonight in the Triangle. And then you can see how that bullseye sort of shifted a little bit off to the north and east. It's not a great chance, but again, a little dusting of snow or some sleet or even a little trace of freezing rain is possible, especially in that pink shaded area. So some light rain, we'll see that on and off through the afternoon, becoming a wintry mix after 6 or 7, and then those slick spots, especially bridges, through Thursday morning. Temperatures temperatures will be chilly through the weekend. Highs only in the low 40s. Overnight lows really cold. But then we start to turn things around. Look at that. Tuesday, 55 degrees and some sunshine. Ken?
All right, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We're staying on top of that situation coming in out of Apex. Here's what we're looking at. You're looking at an 18-minute delay. We're seeing a major slowdown around Highway 55. So if you want to avoid US 1 this morning coming north, I would take State Road 540 or even Williams Road over to 64 and then get back on US 1 because that 18-minute delay, we're working to figure out exactly what's going on, whether or not there's a crash. This is just a morning commute that we see right there. But right now, in terms of US 1 coming south from Wake Forest, you're looking at a 5-minute delay. No delay whatsoever if you're coming in from Garner, Johnston County on I-40 westbound or I-87 coming in out of Knightdale at this hour.
Okay, Ken, thank you. Coming up here, we're talking about winter bargains. 5 on your side shows you which smart buys are worth your attention right now.
Get into your car, tuned to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. The time is 8:26. I'm Laura Levine. Let's get right over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner tracking this next precipitation and wintry mix. Elizabeth.
We're looking at just some light showers out there this morning, especially in our southern and eastern counties, but that will start to spread northward overnight tonight, and some cold air will catch up with it. That could happen as early as 6 to 8 p.m., especially in our northern counties. We can see a little bit of light snow, sleet accumulation, maybe even a little bit of light glazing, and some of that could move south of the triangle, but the amounts that we see for tonight will be quite light. Our temperatures overnight were above freezing. We're sitting at 38 as you're heading out, but it stays chilly today. High temperatures will be in the low 40s, and again, we'll have that potential for some scattered light rain. Ken?
Well, Elizabeth, we're staying on top of that situation coming in out of Apex. It's actually not getting better. You're up to a 20-minute delay if you're coming on US 1 north. Right now, I would take State Road 540 or even Williams Road to 64 and then get back onto US 1 north because we're going to figure out exactly what's causing that major delay. It might be an accident over there. But you're looking at a 4-minute delay if you're coming south on US 1 Capitol Boulevard, if you will, out of Wake Forest. So I'll have another update on your morning commute at the bottom of the hour over on Fox 50.
This morning, Durham police are investigating after 2 people were found dead. The shooting was reported at an apartment complex off of Crest Street around 10 last night. Officers found a man and woman shot. Investigators say it appears to be a murder-suicide. In Nashville, North Carolina, police are looking for the suspect in a high-speed chase. Video from the WRAL breaking news tracker shows the scene last night on Highway 64. Police say the suspect didn't stop as they tried to conduct a traffic stop. They say the suspect lost control and ran off. Next on Fox 50, how the increase in data centers in North Carolina is taking a toll on power and water.
Another chance of some light wintry precipitation overnight. I'll let you know what you can see where you are.
Clearing the icy mess, parts of Raleigh are still dealing with slick spots after the weekend storm, particularly neighborhood roads. Our city crews are working to get secondary and neighborhood roads as well as sidewalks back in safe walking conditions.
Plus, 2 dead in Durham. Police are investigating after a suspected murder-suicide. What we're learning about the people who died. A lot of updates to get to here on your Wednesday morning as we're dealing with weather fatigue and winter weather fatigue. I'm Laura Levine.
And with that in mind, I'm Ken Smith. Let's get over to meteorologist meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking it all for us.
Nothing frozen showing up on Dual Doppler 5000 radar right now. Just some light patchy rain mainly in our southern and eastern counties. Now that will start to lift a little farther north as we get into the late afternoon and evening, and some colder air will catch up with it. So you can see what happens as we get through the day. There's 11 o'clock, there's 2 o'clock. It's all rain and down to the south. Some of that might be heavy, which would be nice. We could definitely use some rain. And then the cold air comes in and it catches up with the precipitation that's left. But at that point, there's not a whole lot of it. Still, up near the Virginia line, it could be a little bit of light snow, some sleet, a little freezing rain, and possibly as the temperatures drop, there could be a little freezing rain in our southern counties. But I mean, we're talking about very small amounts. You can see there's just not a whole lot left. This is never a great pattern where the cold air catches up with the precipitation. It doesn't usually cause us a lot of issues. However, we will drop into the upper 20s overnight, so there could be some slick bridges, especially from the Triangle area northward. We've had some scattered showers here in Fayetteville this morning. It looks a little damp here on Hay Street. Right now it's 38 degrees in the Triangle. We have a northeast wind at around 5 miles per hour. It does stay cool today, but we're above freezing, high temperatures in the low 40s. We'll talk about when temperatures drop back below freezing and a chilly weekend too, Ken.
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Boy, the situation in Apex is what we're really looking at. Mainly Highway US 1 coming north. You're seeing a major delay around Highway 55, Williams Road, if you're familiar with that area. So I would recommend using State Road 540 as an alternate route, or even Highway 55 over to 64 and then back onto US 1 as an alternate route to avoid the delays you're seeing there on US 1 coming north. But really and truly, just a 4-minute delay for our folks in Wake Forest coming on US 1 south, and just a 1-minute delay from Garner, Johnston County on I-40 westbound, or you're coming in on Nightdale from Nightdale on I-87. Nothing that's going to make you late. Things have definitely improved on I-885. Just a 4-minute delay if you're heading into Durham this morning. Just a couple of minutes if you're using 885 to get to I-40. The other troubled spot, Highway 98, and again, troubled spot, 5 minutes. You're in Wake Forest, you're trying to get to Durham on Highway 98, you're just looking at a 5-minute delay. You're getting ready to head into the car, though. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thank you. Now to that breaking news this morning. Within the last 5 minutes, Durham police took down the crime scene tape where 2 people were found dead inside an apartment. This is happening at the Crestview Apartments off Crest Street near the Duke University Hospital. Allie Catlabar is in the WRAL breaking news tracker at that scene. And Allie, investigators have been there since for more than 10 hours now.
And at one point, Laura, there were more than 4 forensics teams out here investigating this apartment unit. You can see right here, there was police tape wrapped around it for, as you said, Laura, more than 10 hours. And that's where officers found a man and woman dead. And this video from the WRAL breaking news tracker, it shows the front side of the unit. And that's where we saw investigators taking photos of what looked like a bullet hole in the window. We also saw them gathering evidence upstairs. Durham police say a shooting was reported at this apartment off Crest Street around 10 last night. Officers then went in and found a man and woman shot, and they were pronounced dead at the scene. Police say right now it appears to be a murder-suicide. And we spoke with a person who stays at this apartment complex. He also says he knows the man who died. He says the man and woman who died, they were in a relationship and that their kids were inside the apartment when this shooting happened. We are working to confirm this with police. Of course, when we hear back, we'll let you know. Reporting live in Durham, Allie Catlabar, WRAL News.
Well, lots of days of icy conditions on roadways. Things are definitely improving because of the sunny weather we've been having the last 24 hours or so. Kelsey Coffey is in the WRAL Storm Tracker. You've been all over the Triangle this morning. What are you seeing right now in Wake County?
Hey, Ken, right now we're in a neighborhood that's just off of Dillard Drive in Cary. We'll go ahead and give you a live look at road conditions. Lots of improvement. We had a lot of melting yesterday, so that's some good news for folks across our viewing area. But we'll show you some video now that is going to be a familiar sight to see. Sidewalks being an icy mess. The city of Raleigh's transportation director says sidewalks are lower on their priority list right now. A spokesperson for the city says their crew's top priorities are roadways and high traffic areas. Even city leaders say they're dealing with the hassle of icy sidewalks.
I had to kind of walk in the street because it was the only place that was plowed.
All right, and that's something that we don't recommend, so be careful because that, of course, can be very dangerous. Again, a live look here at a neighborhood that's just off of Dillard Drive in Cary, so we'll be sure to let you know what else is going on with road conditions. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Cary.
Wake schools and others in the yellow shaded area here on this map are in a 2-hour delay this morning. Schools you see in red are closed. That includes Orange, Edgecombe, and Wayne counties. The counties in green will have remote learning day today. Durham and Harnett County schools are back open today on regular schedules. You'll find a full list of closings and delays on WRAL.com.
This is the second week in a row winter weather has kept students from home from school for multiple days now. From shoveling to plowing, custodial staff members have been working 12 plus hours a day to clear Wake County schools. Students will be back in the classroom today after a remote learning day yesterday and a snow day on Monday.
I think it comes down to a manpower issue. Obviously, we're not geared in North Carolina to handle snow events on a real regular basis.
So that's Director of Facilities Mark Strickland. He says the district has 5 trucks available for plowing. He says they ran out of salt after the first storm and are nearly out again after this past weekend storm. He's hoping that we'll get through the rest of the winter without a lot of snow. So now is the time to download the free WRAL weather app. You can keep up to date on the latest forecast and conditions. Turn on notifications and alerts to know how winter weather will affect your neighborhood.
Well, today, a Raleigh police detective will wrap up his testimony at the sentencing hearing of Austin Thompson. He pleaded guilty to shooting and killing 5 people in Raleigh's Hedingham neighborhood back in 2022. A judge will decide how long Thompson will be in prison. It was an emotional first day of testimony yesterday as family members of victims took the stand to recall what happened that fateful day back in October of 2022. That included Tom Carnes. His wife, Sue, was killed.
And every day for the rest of my life, I'll wake up and Sue will not be lying next to me, and that will make that day hard.
Well, the state is expected to present its case for the next 3 days. We'll be live streaming that on WRAL.com and our WRAL YouTube channel.
Today, we will learn the latest crime statistics for North Carolina schools. The State Department of Public Instruction will issue its report of data on assaults, weapon possession, and drug possession, among other things. Crime dropped during the 2023-24 school year after a post-pandemic spike. The number of students found with a weapon dropped to the second lowest number since 2007. However, WRAL education insider Emily Walkenhorst says a couple of statistics have been rising for years.
Possession of drugs is something we've really seen a big increase in. I mean, numbers in the past couple of years are far, far higher than looking back, 15, 20 years ago.
The State Board of Education is set to hear the report at 1 p.m. WRAL will follow the release of the new numbers. You can find out more about them in the education section of WRAL.com.
Well, this morning, the government is back open. The U.S. House passed a funding package yesterday to end the brief shutdown. President Trump signed the bill into law. This funds the federal government through September, with the exception of Homeland Security that will be funded for 2 weeks. This gives lawmakers time to secure a bipartisan deal with Democrats demanding reforms to immigration enforcement. Well, we are just 2 days away from the 2026 Winter Olympics, and the Olympic torch is moving closer to Milan. You see it right here. The torch is currently moving through northern Italy. Today, it will make its way through towns around Lake Como before reaching the city of Como. The torch will arrive in Milan on Friday to light the cauldron for the opening ceremony.
And Team USA got some good news. Olympic skier Lindsey Vonn says that she does plan to try to compete despite suffering a torn ACL. She injured her knee during a race last week in Switzerland. She says as long as she has a chance to win, she's not letting go of her Olympic comeback.
Considering how my knee feels, it feels stable, I feel strong. My knee is not swollen, and with the help of a knee brace, I am confident that I can compete on Sunday. I will do everything in my power to be in that starting gate.
Now, she is scheduled to hit the slopes tomorrow for training.
All eyes will be watching her for sure. So this all leads up to the opening ceremony on Friday. WRAL is your home for the Olympics. We've got you covered on all the action from Italy, from the opening ceremony to the closing one.
The time now is 8:40. Data center concerns. The servers that power AI are guzzling electricity and water. How North Carolina's data center boom is impacting emissions and power bills.
Also coming up, we'll show you how this week's Teacher of the Week uses her love of camping for making sure her kids are having fun and engaged in the learning process.
And we are starting mostly dry as you look over Southern Pines. You can see a little of the remnants from last weekend's storm there, but most of the day brings a chilly rain. It could end with a wintry mix. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner draws the fine line between light snow, sleet, freezing rain, and just rain coming up.
.44 showing up with a little bit of light patchy rain in our southern counties. This will eventually start to climb northward and affect us around the Triangle area and possibly even all the way up to the Virginia line. But all of it's going to be very light. But you can see how the chance goes up between 4 o'clock and around 8 o'clock from 60 to 70 to 80%. And at that point, we might have some colder air that catches up with the precipitation. So especially north of the Triangle, there could be a wintry mix. We could have some snow, some very light amounts of accumulation, maybe a little sleet or freezing rain. This is a look at Chapel Hill. All is dry. Boy, it looks super busy like right there in Chapel Hill right now, doesn't it? This afternoon, temperatures will be cool. Temperature at 4 o'clock, just 40 degrees. And by 8 o'clock, we're down to 34. Now tonight, we will see temperatures dipping into the upper 20s. So there could be some slick bridges. Ken, that may be our biggest issue for tomorrow morning.
And we will be on top of it for sure. And the other thing we're on top of, boy, things are getting a little better here coming in from Apex on US 1. There was a huge slowdown around Highway 55. It was up to like double digits, up to like 20 minutes ago, about a half hour ago. But right now, you're looking at a 6-minute delay. So whatever is happening down there is definitely clearing up. I'll keep an update for you here in the WRAL Traffic Center.
And while you're tracking that for us, Ken, I'm keeping my eye on a breaking news situation we got into our newsroom within the past 5 minutes or so. Cumberland County Sheriff's Office is investigating a stabbing death, and they say they arrived at a home on Brinkley Drive in Spring Lake just shy of about 5 o'clock this morning. That is where they found a man who had been stabbed, and he was pronounced dead there at that scene. Now, as for who this is, investigators aren't releasing that person's name because their family has not been notified. Deputies also say this is not a random stabbing. However, there appears to be no threat to the public. But after hearing all this information, questions we have for investigators include, if this isn't random, do they know who's responsible for the stabbing? When do they believe the man was actually stabbed versus when deputies arrived? And have they found the weapon in this case?
Okay, Chris, thank you. Taking advantage of winter bargains, 5 on your side, Skilly Arthur is here with a look at some of the biggest smart buys worth your attention right now.
February may be a short month, but it can be a surprisingly good one for winter bargain shoppers. From President's Day sales to post-holiday price drops, Consumer Reports says there are several smart buys worth your attention right now. Consumer Reports tracks prices all year long. That means they're experts in knowing when certain products go on sale this month. In February, one of the biggest opportunities comes during President's Day weekend, especially if you're shopping for large appliances.
Dishwashers are among the large appliances you'll see on sale in February. They tend to be at a better discount than they usually are because you will see sales all year long.
Retailers are often trying to clear out older inventory ahead of spring product launches. Consumer Reports experts suggest choosing a dishwasher with a stainless steel interior tub that will typically be more durable and stain resistant and help dishes dry more effectively than a plastic one.
So with President's Day, we do see better than usual sales on mattresses. That can be anywhere from 5 to 10% better than you'll see any other time of the year.
Consumer Reports recommends focusing on comfort and support rather than brand hype and says shoppers shouldn't be afraid to negotiate, especially in store. February is also a good month for discounted electronics, including printers, but be careful. A printer that uses expensive ink is no bargain in the long run. If you don't need to print in color, Consumer Reports suggests going with a black and white laser printer. It's also a great time to snag a deal on slightly older tablets. Testers say older models that Consumer Reports recommends, like the 10th generation iPad or Samsung Galaxy tablet S9 FE will still perform very well for streaming, browsing, and everyday use at a much lower price. Another hot ticket item as we go into Super Bowl weekend, TVs. Typically, Black Friday and Super Bowl weekend are the best time of year to score big deals on televisions. Keely Arthur, 5 on your side.
Well, with that information from Keely, tonight at 6, we're also going to have more information with that report. Ken?
All right. Our teacher of the week is fond of the great outdoors, which she gladly features in her classroom. We're at Olds Elementary School in Wake County to surprise a teacher known for making learning engaging and fun. Miss Christensen, you are WRAL's Teacher of the Week. Boys and girls, give her a big round of applause. Welcome to Camp Christensen at Olds Elementary School in Wake County.
Let me see how you doing.
Where every second grader in this class is an explorer.
Are there any transitional words in here?
And the lead camp counselor is our Teacher of the Week, Carmen Christensen.
Look for 101.
Miss Christensen says she initially thought she wanted to work in the field of physical therapy until she found the lure of the classroom.
I remember tutoring and loving it so much, I just changed course, and I'm a teacher. I've been teaching for 30 years.
30 years.
I'm old.
All jokes aside, she is old school in her approach to hands-on teaching, making sure none of her students is left outside the learning tent.
I love the growth of it. I love how they come in the beginning of the year, and when they leave, all the things that you've kind of helped, plant and grow, and I don't know, just the outcome of it. Building relationships with them.
Ms. Christensen says she's always had a theme in her classroom, and since she enjoys camping,